there's this here. Oh yeah, there is new merch in the Love Bites store. That is true. We are the Resurrection. There is new merch there. That does look nice. Looks really cool. There is this JP Records post here about talking about this article in this magazine. And the reason I'm talking about this is because if you read this, they're described as power metal, and many times you'll see it where Love Bites is described as power metal. You'll see on the wiki page. You'll see it in articles. You'll see it here. Let's see. Love Bites guitar slayer Midori speaks to Distorted Mag about the latest album, Judgment Day. The bassist Fami and more. Check out the 4-page interview. And you got to get the magazine to really check it out. It's all blurred out. And so when power metal is done brilliantly, there's little that could rival it in heavy music. Love Bites are one of those bands who nail it every single time. As far as they're concerned, they have conquered their own personal Judgment Day with aplomb. With aplomb. All right. So the reason I'm talking about this is because I noticed that there's like this kind of like reaction when someone calls them power metal or describes them as power metal. And, you know, what tends to happen is someone be like, well, actually, they're not power metal. Well, actually, they're more than power metal. As if like, well, I mean, I think we're splitting hairs here. I think, it seems like this adverse knee-jerk reaction to the label, and I get it. Maybe it just kind of comes off as that actually guy, like the actually it's not power metal, and it's like, well, man, I could point to a lot of power metal songs that they have. I'm not saying that they're only a power metal band, but there's a lot of power metal. When you call it power thrash, I mean, what do you want to call it? Just call it heavy metal? Okay. I mean, like, I don't have a problem with anyone calling them a heavy metal band or a power metal band or a thrash metal band. I'm not gonna correct the record as if it's that important. It's like, it doesn't really matter to me. You're paying respects to the band. You like it. And obviously a thrash metal band, and it just kind of give me an idea of like what particular songs you may like of theirs. But I mean, you'll see people react to be like, oh, it's sort of like Chad. I think Chad frequents his channel, and no issues. And this isn't like a criticism directed towards him. It's more general, okay? And it says Love Bites is far more than a power metal band. That sentence there, I don't understand that. Like, because the sentence to me, when I read it, when it says when he puts Love Bites is far more than a power metal band, that sentence conveys that power metal is like somehow low or beneath, as like, it is not valued, which I don't understand. Like, what? Doesn't it? That's not just me, right? It comes with that mindset there. Love Bites is far more than a power metal band. Okay, what's wrong with being a power metal band? What's wrong with that? As if they combine multiple subgenres of heavy metal into their songs. Well, yeah, they do. They do, most definitely. They are a power thrash band. Well, that's been a label that kind of fits better, isn't it? I would say that label definitely fits better. But I mean, my position on this is I don't really care what the label is necessarily. I say necessarily because let's say someone referring them to as like a new metal band would be completely ridiculous, right? Completely bonkers. There's a whole other thing we can talk about too. To take this even further, there's some people who may be like, the labels don't really matter. Why do you have to worry about all the subgenres and stuff like that? And it's like, I get you. I hear you on that. But the subgenres, they're kind of important. And they're important to give you an idea of what a band plays. Like if you say, let's say, Judas Priest Metallica, and Korn, they're all metal bands, but they're not the same kind of metal. Like Judas Priest and Metallica don't sound anything alike. They just don't. Okay? And Korn and Metallica and Judas Priest, yeah, none of them sound anything alike. So it's like, okay, then how do you what is it then? It like you could say, yeah, but if you like metal, you might like this. That's not true. That's not true. And there are bands that do kind of sound alike, and they have a certain style. It's like, okay. And people may like, let's say if someone may like Korn, they may like what's some other bands like that? Maybe like Limp Bizkit or something like that. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's metal. I mean, some of you guys might be like, well, I wouldn't really call it metal, but be like, hey, it's metal, but it's a different kind of metal, you know? You know, it's like, if you like Judas Priest, you know, you probably like maybe Iron Maiden, or, you know, if you like Metallica, you're probably gonna like Megadeth a little bit. You might like Testament, might like Slayer. Slayer might be too heavy for you. I don't know, but it's so the question is like, okay, so then there is importance of subcategory, isn't there? To kind of give you an idea of the sort of sound. Because it's much more than metal. It's like, okay, they're a metal band, but they play this particular type. But then sometimes bands do branch out. They do kind of experiment and do different things. And they kind of, and those, I don't know if that would, well, it depends on how often they branch out of the style that they normally play, if it would redefine them. Like if it's like a one-off thing. Let's say like Bandmate. Bandmate is a hard rock band, right? You would agree with me, right? Bandmate is a hard rock band. They don't play jazz, but they do, right? They had that unplugged acoustic version of some of their songs, which was really good. So then, are they still a hard rock band? Well, primarily, yes. Yes, most definitely. Same could be said with Metallica. Metallica had a jazz. Didn't it do like a jazz album or something like that? I don't remember. I think I heard a couple of the songs once and was like, okay, all right. So yeah, there is importance with like categories and stuff, and kind of I guess so that way you kind of know what it is. But some bands, like Love Bites in particular, their style is kind of varied, isn't it? I mean, they do have some very power metal heavy songs, where they have the fanfare that power metal has, with the organs, and so you know the organs, the high pitched singing, the just cinematic feel to it all. Like it's so grand, like it's epic. Like Glory, Glory to the World would be an example, or Holy War would be an example. But, and with power metal, there is thrash there. But they do sometimes go on the thrashy side with like a Hammer of Wrath. So, it's kind of hard to fit them in one category, because you kind of like do a lot. So, and because of that, I understand why someone may just refer to them as a power metal band, and it might not be actually very correct, but it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to be all like, hey, we got to correct this. Okay, you got it wrong, bro. But well, you know, that's my feelings on it. I'm kind of curious how you guys feel. And like I said, nothing. Like, this was not a personal thing towards anyone. There's something I've noticed in the like Love Bites like fandom, if you will. I think the fans are great. I think we are a great wolf pack, if you will. It was just, just a thought here.